was good catching up with our old pal Claire Farnsworth today.
Right, it makes you feel like football's right around the corner.
And we've decided it is right around the corner, even if it's a long corner, it's right around the corner.
It's going to be here in no time.
Absolutely right. Well, we brought up, I think one of the questions we brought up that was kind of fun today was kind of based on the draft. Today, by the way, and we're doing the show on Wednesday, it's the day off during the week of voluntary workouts that just about everyone is showing up for. Just about everyone is showing up for, not everyone. But it was time to think a little bit about, well, based on the draft, maybe in some free agents, who are some of the guys, some of the incumbents, the guys on this team. There are 91 guys on the roster right now. Guys that we know from last year that might be in a little bit of trouble this year. And a couple of names that I came up with and just thinking about off the top of my head. One was Jay Howard, the defensive tackle they drafted in the 4th round last year. I mean, we know the Seahawks went out to bring in a free agent. They drafted a couple of DTs, including one from Alabama, who they've got, I think some high hopes for. His situation may be tough. And then we don't know how accomplished the young man from Rice is, the tight end Luke Wilson. But Anthony McCoy has been a guy I don't know if they were completely satisfied with last year. Those are two guys that jumped out to me as guys who might be feeling the heat even just to make this team this year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you're going to look at reasons why they went with positions they did in the draft, it's obviously to add depth and or replace certain people. And McCoy is the first one that stands out to me because even going into the draft, that's what you expected. We kept hearing, well, they could use a linebacker, they could use a pass-catching tight end, and it's not to replace Zach Miller.
Right, no, he's staying.
He's a guy maybe you ask him to restructure, but you're not getting rid of Zach Miller. So McCoy seems to be a guy who's kind of been teetering on that fence for a while. So if somehow they found a replacement, and I don't know if it's this kid or not. What did he catch, 9 passes last year, 11?
Right.
I have no idea if he's the guy, but I would think he's sort of on notice, McCoy a little bit. Howard's another guy we didn't really see. I have no idea what he brings to the table, whether he's a disappointment if he didn't step up the way they thought he would.
I think he only played in like 2 games last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to come to some sort of conclusion on him at all. And then, as guys get older, they make more money. They went running back heavy in this draft. I mean, the first pick was a running back. They go with Spencer Ware out of LSU in addition to Michael. So you wonder, all right, are they planning for the future at that position? Marshawn Lynch is a collision back who's only got so many hits in the body. Mm-hmm. Or is this, is it a situation where they're just looking to add depth? They're looking to replace Leon Washington, who's not there. So you can read it both ways. Or is one of them going to be a fullback? Is Michael Robinson a guy that, is he...
Right, he could be a guy in trouble.
So, I mean, you can come to different conclusions. I don't know which one is the right one. I tend to believe that Marshawn is a guy. We've seen running backs above any other position. They're here, and then they fall off the cliff.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the position. And hopefully it doesn't happen that rapidly with him. But based on his running style, bad back, perhaps they're planning, let's kind of stock the cupboard, if we will.
I think maybe another guy to think about it, and in particular in jeopardy this year, is probably Walter Thurman. They drafted for corner as well. And really the case with Thurman is not that they don't like him. He just
can't stay healthy.
Right. I mean, Brock Hewitt has always talked about that as a skill that you have to have in the NFL, and he can't stay. If he can't be healthy in training camp, I mean, he's a guy who could certainly be in some jeopardy too.
I feel like this training camp, this preseason for him is make or break.
And it's right around the corner too. Very close.